Yo guys, Theo here, Uncommon Sense. Fresh out the sauna after a very successful leg workout. Hit the personal best of 150 kilos on the front squat, so very happy about that. Today we're gonna talk about Maingaining. So yeah, Maingaining is basically this idea that you can put on muscle without gaining any fat at all at the same time. So basically staying ripped as you build muscle. You are ripped currently, and you build a bunch of muscle and you stay equally as ripped throughout the whole process. And yeah, you do this by eating at your maintenance calories or slightly, ever so slightly above, like a 30 or 40 calorie surplus or so. And someone who's been spreading this idea a lot is Doucette. Doucette doesn't believe in bulking, doesn't think you should be bulking, thinks you should stay at a healthy body fat percentage and slowly gain muscle and nothing but muscle from that point. And it's just a dumb thing to be spreading to everyone, like this is the way to do it, this is the optimal way to do it, you should be Maingaining, no, don't bulk. As if this is something that goes for everyone. So we're gonna get into it, but let's first explain another term, a related term, that's a recomp, body recompositioning, meaning not only do you build muscle while not adding fat, you actually burn fat as you build muscle. So let's start like this. Do I believe that it's possible to do a body recomposition? Absolutely. In fact, I'm a strong believer in it, and it is the approach I take with a lot of my clients. But the thing is, there's a whole bunch of what's the word I'm looking for here? Addendums. A lot of buts after the I believe in body recomposition. So look, there's a few different factors that's going to determine your ability to do a body recomposition. First of all, how much body fat are you carrying? What's your body fat percentage? How fat are you, basically? Because the more excess body fat that you have, the greater your body's ability is to make up missing calories from your own body fat. The second thing is how much muscle have you built already? How muscular are you? How much gains have you made already? And again, the less adapted you are to weight training, the greater your ability to do a body recomposition. And then we have just the genetic factor. It's just gonna vary between individuals, like everything here in life. Like some individuals will go on a calorie deficit and keep getting stronger in their big lifts, you know. But a lot of people are not able to do that and notice very quickly if they decrease calories also that their lifts stall or regress. So yeah, the point is that look, when you build muscle, when you want to build muscle, the thing is that you want to put the body in a state of abundance. Do you understand? The body in a state of scarcity, on a calorie deficit, you know, the body is not very likely to prioritize adding new muscle mass over just maintaining bodily functions. That's what your maintenance calories are for. So if you're below that, you know, the body's gonna like, okay, how can we best use these resources? Well, most likely, for most individuals, it's just not going to be adding muscle. But again, a but. If you have excess body fat, then you can be in a caloric deficit, but you're still in a state of abundance, right? You have body fat to make up missing calories. The body can do that to a certain extent. So you can kind of, you're not actually in a deficit in a sense. You know, if you have more body fat than you should, then you can kind of bulk on your own body fat. Do you understand? It's like the extra calories needed to build that muscle comes from the own body fat. But this is, again, look, this is for very specific individuals. People who have not weight trained a lot and have a big, you know, a good chunk of body fat to spare. And so that's why I do that with a lot of clients, because they very often, people when they seek out a coach, and I seem to, because of my backstory, you know, that I was a skinny fat little loser that had not been training at all and had too much body fat, you know, I attract a lot of those kinds of clients in a similar spot, you know, that they haven't really made all that many gains and they have too much fat. And I'll say here, that's not all my clients, but a big chunk of them. But so I'm going to tell you my experience with trying to juggle this, the Maingaining thing, or even trying to do a body recomposition. That when I got into all this, again, I was skinny fat, lost muscle due to sedentary lifestyle, put on fat due to the same thing, and also, of course, just drinking too much beer and eating junk food. And so I started bulking when I started, which now in hindsight, I would have gone for recomposition initially, because when you are in that skinny fat state, that's like the optimal time to go for that main gain or recomp idea. Because what I explained, you can actually, your muscles are so not used. You're just screaming for that stimulus to grow as long as you eat enough protein, and the body will make up missing calories from the body fat. So you actually burn fat and build some muscle. But very quickly, like you could probably get away with doing this for a while, but very quickly, it's just not going to be optimal at all. So I bulked, which I, in hindsight, wouldn't have needed to, and then I started cutting, And then I probably, initially when I started cutting, I probably gained a bit more muscle. But then I really tried to, I became quite lean. I had abs and stuff, bicep vein maybe, I don't remember. But instead of being like, okay, now I'm lean, let's fucking bulk, let's build muscle, I was like, no, I'd like to get like that super shredded, like really super ripped, and keep building muscle. Can I do that, And then I tried this mainstream bodybuilder thing, like, yeah, if I spread out the protein, like in 6 meals per day, but I'm in a deficit, yeah, maybe that will work, What ended up happening is even though I was in that state to make a lot of newbie gains, everything stalled. I remember I was doing pull-ups, I just couldn't get more reps at a certain point. And then when I finally, because I started training at home, and then when I finally started going to the gym, actually, okay, I'll bulk now. Didn't really count calories, I just started eating more, Then the gains started exploding, Immediately when I raised the calories, after I kept them low for a little bit when going to the gym, immediately when I increased them, all my lifts just exploded, my progress was just like, and I built a good amount of muscle, And then I cut down a bit after that again. Then, this is my little special twist to this, that a lot of people probably that follow me will recognize that. When I found out a year in or so into my fitness journey, I found out about the snake diet, prolonged fasting. And from doing it, I quickly noticed that you don't really lose muscle with fasting as long as you train and eat properly when you're not fasting, And then I thought, like, yeah, I found the magic hack, I can eat on a daily surplus and just throw in fast and burn off the little fat that came with the muscle gains, So I tried these routines, I tried the alternate day fasting, eating and training full body every other day and fasting on the other day. And during that time, I'd say I managed to do a little bit of gains in my legs because I hadn't been able to train legs properly for a while because of an injury, but everything else just stalled. I'll say again, if you are because at that point, I've of course made a lot more progress since then, but at that point I was kind of intermediate, I was not a complete newbie anymore. So I would say that a complete newbie could probably do kind of insane body recomposition, doing that kind of routine for a month or two. But yeah, then so I tried. I was so attached to this idea to stay ripped and build muscle, So I tried different routines. I tried doing a 48-hour fast at the end of the week, which I now think is a great cutting routine. But I tried to eat on a little daily surplus and then just cut off the fat at the end of the week. But so what happened during this time is that I could get stronger because, building strength is not all about building muscle. It's neurological adaptation, getting more efficient with your technique, getting more efficient at actually recruiting the muscle mass you already have and stuff. So I could increase in strength, but I kept trying different routines like this for months. But I had to finally admit, fuck, my muscle gains have kind of stalled. And then I actually started bulking again. I decided there will be no prolonged fasting for a few months. I go intermittent fasting only, but I eat in a surplus, And again, boom, my gains just fucking started exploding. And since this point, I've decided that the Maingaining approach, or trying to recomp it's a pipe dream, you know, like in very specific situations that I told you already about. Yeah, it's gonna work, but when you started making when you have some muscle mass and you are quite lean already, what's gonna end up happening is that you don't get leaner and you don't build muscle when you try to do both. You get in the way of yourself, because you're gonna be always like, yeah, fuck, I need more, probably need to eat more to build a muscle, but not too much, because I need to stay in the deficit, or I don't want to gain fat, and you kind of end up doing neither, you know. And I say that I think it is still possible when you're more advanced, but it's just not something, it's just not a good plan to have, like, yeah, I'm maingaining, I'm maingaining. You know, I think I actually managed to do a slight body recomp or main gain from this summer. I started mobility training, I was bulking, but then I decided to, no, you know what, I'm gonna kind of maintain my strength, work on like little variations of exercises while I improve my mobility instead. And mobility training is, of course, different kind of progress that you don't really need to be in a caloric surplus to make progress with, you know. But I ate quite a bit. I just didn't think too much about it. I didn't push calories, but I didn't hold back. And I was quite active during this time. And I think I actually managed to then, just over many months, like we're talking now half a year or something, it was slight main gain routine that I did gain a little bit of weight, but it looked like I was at the same level of leanness anymore. So it's very much an attract, don't chase thing. And look, again, in the state of abundance thing, you know, now, I am bulking now. I am a calorie surplus enjoyer as of right now. And it's not that if I miss to go above my daily maintenance on one day that, oh, I won't make gains. It's just on this whole time, these 3 months that I put aside to actually bulk, gain weight, gain muscle, get stronger, you know. If I keep a little buffer of body fat the whole time, that's I think I'm above 15% body fat now. People think I'm leaner all the time because you get away with having more fat as you get more, as you have more muscle mass. You're just gonna, certain spots, you know, your arms might still kind of, you know, when you have a nice pump, you're gonna have some shoulder and arm veins and stuff. But yeah, this is what I want to come to though. For very beginners or people with like actually a big amount of excess body fat, yeah, you're gonna kind of end up doing a recomposition a lot of the time without even trying. Like when I was a personal trainer in the gym, that often the same kind of individual very often that seeks out a personal trainer. They just feel like I'm not fit, I'm not strong, and I've gained too much fat, you know. And when the only addition to their lifestyle was that we started weight training and they got stronger in the gym, most of them dropped in weight too. Because also what you're going to realize is building that muscle takes a lot of energy. It's of course protein that makes up the muscle, but other energy is used for the process of building the muscle. And for a beginner like that, when their body is so unused to the muscle get completely destroyed, smashed, a lot of energy is going to be used to rebuild that muscle. Or build it stronger even, you know. But when you are like not a noob anymore and you are lean, just fucking give up that you have to be so fucking lean all the time. It's not that you have to go pig bulking, you know. Just be in a small surplus, 200 to 300 calories. And look, you could do it a little bigger even. Like I'm probably, in the grand scheme of things now, because I'm not eating the exact same calories every day, you know, but I'm probably on a bigger surplus. But it's also because I trust in my ability to cut so much with a prolonged fasting and stuff. But even me, pushing it hard now, like, look, I'll put up a picture or something from right now. Do you think I look fat? I've gained a decent amount of weight, and most of it is fat. But do I look fat though? No, not really. And this is not. I'm maybe on a 500 calorie surplus or something. But clean foods, you know, that's another thing. The cleaner the foods you eat, the better your nutrient partitioning is going to be. Meaning that the body can actually use the calories as much as possible for what you want it to build muscle and not get stored as fat. Like it's very different with, you know, a calorie surplus from meat and potatoes than a calorie surplus from donuts or chips or whatever, you know. So I want to tell you, stop, because there's a lot of people. I've talked to people that are into the fasting, especially, that they come up with these routines, how they're going to stay lean as they gain muscle. I'm not saying that it's completely impossible, but I'm saying it's very, very likely that you're just going to get in your own way and you kind of end up just staying lean and not gaining anything, you know. Yeah. Well, I had something on my mind there. Yeah, just put aside, you know, a few months where you're like, you know what, I'm happy to gain a little bit of fat with my muscle. It's, you know, yeah, and that's the other thing too. If you manage to do the main gain routine or whatever, the progress you made is going to be so much smaller than you could have done on just a surplus. Gain just a little bit of fat that you can easily cut off. You know, especially if you're into the fasting, you know, you can do it so fast. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When we try to come up with these routines, like, oh yeah, I'll train 5 days a week and eat on a daily surplus and then fast 48 hours. You have to understand, it's not about the day, just a few days of being in a surplus. It's not enough. The body has to, it doesn't just change from day to day like this, like, oh, we're anabolic today, we just build muscle today, and now we fast, we just burn the fat, you know. It doesn't work like that. It's a big picture thing. The body is like, what kind of state are we currently in? Not right in the moment, like, our life. What does it look like right now? Oh, it looks like we've been eating a lot for days and days and days, you know. We're probably in a state of abundance. Let's build muscle. But if you throw in the fast too often, the body, yeah, your baseline is kind of be some kind of maintenance. Like, oh, well, we ate more on some days, but then on some days apparently we don't get nothing. Let's just stay here, kind of. Yeah, well, I think I've gotten my points out. I enjoy bulking. I love bulking. It's amazing after having, you know, kind of maintained or cut for a while. When you increase those calories and implement some kind of progressive overload scheme, it's fantastic. My strength is exploding in the gym, making nice gains. And look, I'm gonna be a little fluffy at the end of this, you know. I'm actually overshooting. I do it, you know, almost for fun, because I know I can lose weight so quickly. But if you are so attached to being lean, which is ridiculous if you're a little lean twig, you know, you see those guys in the gym, it's nothing impressive about being all veiny and a little twig, 12-inch arms, you know. But if you are so attached to that, just go on a little 200-300 calorie surplus. That's all you need, really. That's all you need. So, okay, if you like this video, please like, please comment. Do you main gain, or are you also a bulk enjoyer? Please let me know. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, and common sense takes on, well, all those things, but other life philosophy stuff too. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Peace.